If we start with the performance first and foremost, then Toast, because you must be sitting there with a lot of positives to take from that, because that was really good in terms of overall display, I felt.
It was one of the best performances we've had all year, really. Brilliant. Really proud of the boys. Excellent performance, and obviously that's why everyone loves football. The nature of that loss was, I don't think anyone will ever be able to cope with how that game panned out, really. I think there was a circus in town.
And yes, and on that sort of vein, I'll have to ask you in terms of some of the decisions that were made today. And I can probably preempt your answer, but your reflections on some of those. I mean, there was probably a clear penalty at the end that wasn't given. There was a handball. There was a couple of elbows as well. What did you make of it overall?
I don't think I need to comment, because I think anyone who was here probably. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
It's a shame, isn't it? When you have a game of football that gets decided in a manner like that, I guess that's probably the overall takeaway. If we want to take away, if we don't, I feel
sorry. I feel sorry for their striker that got sent off. He wasn't even the one that should have got sent off. The poor lad literally accidentally run into our goalie and got sent off. I actually said to him in the bar, I went, mate, bless your heart. But then there's also, mate, there isn't enough time, and unless this goes on for 17 hours, we won't have enough time to comment on all the game. But not a nice way to lose. I've learnt a new thing that you can sort of handballs can be given when you don't have to look at them, when it hits someone on the hip. I mean, ultimately that decided the game. Hit my midfield player on the hip. They all shouted handball. Fair play to them. Brilliant from them. And a free kick which then gets put into the box, and scrambled and cup football again, similar to the FA Cup, same as the FA Cup. So it's absolutely carbon copy of the game, but can't moan with our performance. Obviously, I keep banging on about this, and you've seen with our wins versus our losses. The first goal, we're obviously in every single game that we play. These guys are at the top end of our league, and I felt like they'd be, look at the way they celebrated, like rightly so. I think they come out alive today, didn't they? We're doing the right things. Just can't get too emotional. It is what it is. That's football, and I feel like sometimes we're paying the cost of previous things. If you get me, without going into too much deep detail, I think today we got punished for previous events.
Yeah.
Without going into detail about it.
I remember us sitting down in your first interview as manager, and you spoke about the need to grow. We're seeing that now, aren't we, with this team, and that type of performance. We're seeing a clear progression now in terms of what you're trying to do, and that this team is growing and becoming more.
Yeah, I just said to him in there, you got. It's one of them. We've got a lot of 23, 22. Kai today, by the way, from Deza, amazing. Dano come on again. He's got another, more time in him. So there's two 18-year-old lads there in the thick of this team. I mean, Kai's 18th birthday, we sort of rewarded him with a start because Nathan Eden's away on holiday, and do you know what? He looked like he's been playing in this league for 2 years, and he was absolutely amazing. Amazing performance from that boy. And yeah, we're growing. We haven't got the money to go out and get 28, 29-year-olds who are top 30 goal scorers. We're going to have to build them, and it's going to take a little bit of time. I know I said it at the start. That's why I'm not too emotional. Don't get too up or too down, which is unlike me. We're going to win some. We're going to lose some. My thing is the ones that we lose, we need to make sure that we've had a right old ding dong in them. And I think today's an example of that. I think if you could tell, if they're celebrating in the change room, our fans are booing people off the field, I think we've done all right. What I would say is we know this. We're a couple short in certain areas. And we've got to grow a team, grow a group, get through to May, and then add again, have another window of adding, and then we'll grow and grow and grow. And if they have that attitude and that performance, I must say again, like Bilham and all the back five, and that spreads through the team. Their defensive display, I've been quite hard on them. I know we kept a clean sheet last game, but I wasn't happy how much they got near our goal last game. And I felt today we were excellent. Just kept them away, got our distances right. Yes, there were moments because they've got some really good players, haven't they? The other team, and they were a great bunch of lads, by the way. Today, how they acted, they were great. So, but if we're going toe to toe with the big hitters in the league, and that's great. But we just got to get that first goal, because if we'd have got the first goal, they wouldn't have got back in. Because that's what we've been doing. When we've been getting the first goal, no one gets back in. When we concede in the first half, we get back in. But unfortunately, if we let a goal in the second half late, we have not got back in. So we've got to work on that reaction after a late goal goes in.
How close do you feel, or maybe you feel you're there already in terms of consistency of performances? Do you feel like you're moving in the right direction in terms of what you can expect from your team?
Yeah, 100%. But ultimately, it's about both boxes. So, like, look, there's a reason that Man City buy Haaland, isn't there? Do you know what I'm saying? So we haven't got the ability to do that. So we've got to play, like I said, 23, 24-year-olds, and that have maybe not had the experience at this level. And there's signs of them. They're all showing little signs. It's about consistency. And it's about, again, ultimately what you do in both boxes. It's all right having all this build-up and all this style of play and all this like rubbish, expected goals rubbish. It's ultimately what you do in both boxes in that particular game. And at the minute, I'm really, really happy how competitive we've been in every single game this year. I think we're quite entertaining. I think we're getting up down on the ground and taking our game to people. I feel like we don't have much shots against us. Apart from last week, where I think our goalie and our back five blocks were outstanding, and I feel like we're getting good entries into the box. It's just our decision making and our cutthroat mentality what we've got to work on.
Top end of the pitch, I think people might be looking at that and wondering maybe what improvements need to happen for goals to be a bit more free coming or forthcoming. What would you kind of say to that? What's your assessment of that area at the moment? Is it just that in terms of you're trying to build players and develop players rather than going out and plucking them on, because that's the area of the pitch where players are most expensive?
Yeah, they're not out there, and the ones that are out there are under contracts, and like, without being horrible, they're on stupid money. You can't be paying that. You can if you're going for it. Like I said, we're not going for that. We've got to build our club, so we've got to work with players. And what I would say about the ones that we've got, one just needs a goal, then he'll just go on and score. Then the partner of that's like a 10 or a winger, so we're converting people. And then we've got some dual reg, which don't help us today, dual reg, really. They help us on a Tuesday. But it is what it is, just a scenario that we're in. Look, got come in late, and we've had to clear some people out on money that we can't be paying people that. So I think, without going into detail, we all know what it is. We've just got to work with the players that we've got, who are going to get better because they're young. I'm really, really proud of them. I thought they were outstanding today, and we'll get better. And results are going to be up and down because that's the nature of what we're doing. But tough, deal with it. I'm dealing with it. It's fine. And then we'll grow again in the summer and reevaluate where we need to go. But pitch is looking amazing. Like, things are getting people have got tracksuits. Can you believe it? So it's amazing. So things off the pitch and are good. We're now going for a team meal, which is great. That's really, really important. We haven't ever had a night out or done anything together. So I think that's really, really important. And then we'll all grow. And I'm glad that hurts. That should hurt them. And then use that for the next game and grow again.
Absolutely. I know you've mentioned him already, but Kai Thurston, I mean, it's worth us speaking about him and picking him out because, as you mentioned, 18 years old, I thought he was outstanding today. Yeah.
Look, I mean, I can't say what he's on a game, but I should imagine the opposition get that per minute. So he was. I thought he was different class. And then Dan, must give credit to Dano. Look at this week with Ross, the goalie, give up his time to do a coaching session to the under 8s at Dereham. And then done an interview today, got here early, and it's good. Our model is we're going to try and blood the young players in. Jono only 20, Gaza same. Like, we've got some young, they're babies really, and they're all in their gut that they haven't won, and that's great. I want them to really get hold of that and keep going with it, because when they get their experience, which they're getting. You've got a hell of a team, haven't you, on your hands?
Just in terms, obviously that's the FA Trophy done for this season, but your assessment of where things are in the league at this moment in time, you've kind of spoken about the up-down nature of it and how that's probably a byproduct of what you're trying to do. How would you assess where you are in the league at the moment and probably what's to come as well?
If I'm being honest with you, I think I spoke to Ross about this, the goalie. Like, we probably ended up being a bit ahead of where we thought we'd be because we've all come into it blind. No one knew each other. All that travelling, we probably thought we were going to get some hide-ins without being horrible. And we've actually been really, really competitive, and we're mid-table, and that's probably about right. Like we said it at the start, Connor, didn't we? Let's not beat around the bush. It was going to be one of them. But actually, there's so many green shoots, isn't there? Like I always said, I want to leave it in a better place. If I leave tomorrow, if I go and lose 3 games and I'm not in this job tomorrow, or whatever, or I go and get a job in Honolulu as a cocktail bar member or whatever. Right, then I would like to think I've left something in a better place for somebody else with good young players, good mentality of a team, and a really, really good pitch, because that pitch is now looking really, really good, and good things around. So I'm really, really clear on that with my role, and I'm loving it. To be fair, I'm loving it. I used to hate it at the start because it was really, really stressful, but like today, For me, if I can't keep a level of realism and logic behind the work that we're doing, then we're all done, because it's got to come from me. So everyone else is entitled to be emotional because it's an emotional sport, but I've just got to keep real, like level-headed and where we're going. You know, like it's like you said about Kai and Dano. You can easily like go and pick up a lad who's got more experience than them. But actually, what's the point of having an academy if you don't throw them in? So, and they've done us proud again today. So I'm chuffed to bits. Gutted with the score. I think it was comical. Funniest game of football I've ever watched. Literally, the Russian State Circus would not have made any tickets today. We would have sold out. But yeah, move on into the league. Happy days.
Just finally, and you've kind of segued, not with the circus, but with the young players, into the last question. The young lads are in action on Monday night, FA Youth Cup, hoping to obviously get people down here to watch them. What would kind of your message be to those young lads ahead of that game, and also to people who maybe are considering coming down to watch them?
Control the controllables, because sometimes you can't control things that you can't control. Is that cryptic enough without getting done?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good man. Toast, thank you very much.
Thank you.